politics, and pop culture.
What's up, world? It's your boy, Mike Muse. Welcome to another conversation of the Mike Muse Show. I am super excited to be in conversation with you. If you can't tell, audience, those who are watching, you always know when I'm really excited to talk to my guests because my cheeks go all the way up. I go up in a high falsetto and I can't stop smiling and cheesing. That's because my guest today is absolutely incredible. I've had the pleasure of actually being in her presence a couple of times, but this is the first time that she's actually been on the Mike Muse Show. So I have her all to myself. I don't have to share her with other co-hosts and answer questions. Ladies and gentlemen, dynamic, the amazing, there's not even enough words, legendary, iconic, all the words, all the adjectives, Patti LaBelle. How are you, Miss Patti?
Oh, I'm good, Mike. How are you?
I cannot complain. Happy summer to you.
Same to you. Happy,
Yeah.
happy summer.
Listen, we're here. We
Yes.
made it, and we made it through. And Patti, I was just talking with my trainer this morning about the summer for me is
Uh-huh.
about celebration, and it's about food, and it's about gathering with my loved ones. Like for me, summer just turns everything up. And so the fact that you are re-releasing your first cookbook, La Belle Cuisine, today is just something exciting. It's reintroducing you to all the incredible recipes you always have given us over the years. But why did you feel it was important for you to come out today with this re-release?
Well, it's been 20 years, and I have to say that a lot of young people are going to see my recipes now because when they were baby kids, they didn't know that Patty had a book. You know, their mothers and aunts did. So the kids are going to learn from my book because the recipes are so easy, and so many people back in the day. Mike would say to me at the airports, "We made your macaroni for Thanksgiving, and it was a winner. We made your whatever." Everything I
Yeah,
put in that book is so easy for people to capture.
yeah.
And I'm happy to say that this is the 20th anniversary and there are new recipes, there are new pictures, my grandbabies are on, and
Mm.
just a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
And like I said, the recipes, do you cook, Mike?
Patty, I was just about to talk about that. I bought an air fryer during the pandemic.
Never mind.
so,
Okay, so I was going to say you
it,
could even learn from this
yeah.
book.
So hopefully there's some
Yes,
recipes I can put in the air fryer. But it's an air fryer, it's a
you
digital air
can.
fryer
You can.
grill combination. So there's
Oh,
options for me,
that
Patty. There's
works.
options. Yeah. Well, Patty,
That
you will be
works.
happy to know that, and I've said this to you before, but I just have to say this to you all the time. Your macaroni and cheese is a staple at the Muse family Thanksgiving and Christmas meals. I can't
Yay.
cook, Patty, but I am the sous chef to my family members who can. So I'm responsible for going out
Uh-huh.
and getting all the cheese that you put in that recipe, and I'm responsible for
All of
grading
the cheese.
all the cheeses that you put in.
Oh,
So I
so
have an affinity.
you could say you make it.
Yeah,
Say
I
that you
definitely
make
make
it.
because the
Take the
cheese is the
credit.
essence of it. The cheese is the essence of it.
Oh, yeah. If you don't
Yeah,
have the right cheeses, enough cheeses, it's going to be bland. So I
it
do
will
about
be.
8 cheeses, and it's so gooey, and the mozzarella and provolone they're pulling, and the jack cheese they're all pulling like pizza,
Yes.
and it's just good. It's good, good.
Ladies and
And
gentlemen,
you
I
don't
will
have to
say get
make,
in.
huh?
No, I was going to tell the audience, like, if there is one reason to buy this book is to trust me, it is for that macaroni and cheese recipe. Like, hands down, Tyler Bell's macaroni and cheese is the best macaroni and cheese I've ever had. Out of all my aunties, grandma and them,
Oh,
family friends, aunties, grandma and
wow.
them, like Patty LaBelle's
That's
macaroni
a
and cheese is
compliment.
the best. Like, period. And
Oh,
and I'm a critic of macaroni and
let me
cheese,
say
Patty. I'm a
something.
critic of it.
Mike, you know what I always say too? Oh, first of all,
Mhm.
you can get my mac and cheese and all of my items at Walmart. But what I
Yeah.
was going to say is that my macaroni doesn't have to be better than your grandmother's or your mother's because people can cook their faces off. But
Oh,
this
yeah.
is just a patty macaroni. Even with my sweet potato pie, people make better pies, or whatever. But
Mhm.
I have mine in Walmart and people have been liking those too. So I'm blessed
Now,
to
I want to
have
talk about that.
food that you love. Uh huh.
I want to talk about the Walmart thing because I know, Pat, I'm about to say something, I guess, counterculture. I know everyone loves your sweet potato pie at Walmart, and I do. I want to be very clear. But in New York City, I'm not near Walmart. So every time I go home back to Lansing, Michigan,
Oh,
my family, we go to Walmart. It's a tradition. But you know what we get, Patty, of yours is the peach
what?
cobbler. I think people are sleeping
Oh,
on that peach cobbler that you have at
they
Walmart. I think it's better than
and
a
have
sweet potato pie, and your sweet potato pie is on the chain. But
right.
the peach cobbler, people are sleeping on that. It makes me so mad. I literally was at Walmart,
We
like
don't
advocating for your
know.
peach cobbler. I was advocating at the table. I saw some friends from high school shopping
Oh,
too as well, and I was like, "Yo, put the pie down, get this cobbler, trust me." And they texted me. They was like,
have,
"Damn, Mike, you were right. That cobbler's off the chain."
Mike, have you had the double crust peach cobbler?
I
I have a double
have,
crust.
I
Oh,
have. The
you had
double
the
crust is
double.
great.
Oh,
Patty, because
yes.
here's the thing. There's two things I'm a critic of. It is macaroni and peach cobbler, right? And peach cobbler can go
Oh,
so wrong because
God.
sometimes the crust can be too thick or it's
Crust.
too gooey, or
Oh,
the peaches could be too
oh,
sweet or undersweet, or the syrup is too sweet, or it's not enough peaches. Like your ratio to peach to syrup to sweetness to crust thick
it's
gooey
valid.
softness,
Oh,
you did
right.
that.
Flaky crust. Flaky,
Oh, you
flaky.
did that.
And the
Patty, you
peaches
did that.
aren't so sweet. Oh,
It's
yes.
not.
Thanks, Mike. Thank
I'm telling
you.
you, it's a science. Peach cobbler is a science. And peach cobbler is hard to do. Not everybody can do a
Oh,
peach cobbler. And it's my
it's
favorite
very
dessert.
hard. No,
My
not
grandma used to
everybody.
make it all the
Well,
time.
thank you.
Yeah, so I
Oh, and I
love you
know
for that,
hers was
Patty.
just like mine.
Oh, she
Oh,
used to make the
thank you.
best sweet potato pie like you and the best peach cobbler.
Oh,
And then she would make me a strawberry shortcake. But Patty, you'd be happy to know it was a very basic kind. It was just some shortbread that she would make, some strawberries, and she knows I like ice
uh-huh.
cream over whipped cream, so she would give me the ice cream over the whipped cream. Killer.
Oh,
So those
I
are my two
know it was
favorite treats:
great. I know
strawberry
it was
shortcake
good.
and peach cobbler.
Oh,
It was so good.
good.
But that's what I
I'm
want to
glad
talk
I
with
can
you
help
about.
you.
Now that we've got, oh no, thank you. Like literally, your peach
Uh-huh.
cobbler off the chain. Aaliyah Crawford, I hope you're listening. Please send me some peach pie or
She's
peach
listening.
cobbler from Miss Patty.
She's cobbler. She will.
Yeah.
Yes, for real.
But I want to talk
Uh,
about though. I'm thinking about my grandmother. I'm thinking about you, and I'm thinking about love. And now I kind of want to advance the conversation. And this is something I couldn't wait to talk with you about. I remember I was interviewing a black chef, and so I did this entrepreneurship series with President Obama where I focus on black and brown boys of color. And I did this video series where I highlighted different black and brown men who have been successful in entrepreneurial pursuits within lifestyle, of food,
mhm.
fashion, music. And I wanted to specifically interview a chef. And I was talking with this dynamic black man who's a great chef. He's doing it his own way, his own thing. And I asked him a question and I said, why is it that you think that there's not a lot of us who are opening up restaurants or who are chefs? Because all the food we make is the best. And I really see America taking it from us, monetizing it, making it their own, but it comes from us. And he said something interesting, Patty. He said, Mike, it's because we have always seen food as love and not a commodity or currency. He said that a lot of times we didn't grow up
Yeah.
with money. So Big Mama and them and Grandma and them and all of them would get up at 4 a.m. and make everything from scratch for your birthday,
Mhm.
maybe, or for a holiday in place of the gifts, but as an
Yes.
expression of love. With you, I want to know your thoughts on that. But with you, I feel like there's two things. You not only, I believe, recognize that, but you've also too been able to combine it into a commodity, into currency. Can you just talk to me a little bit about that thought process, Patty, and your thoughts on that?
He is so right about back in the day. I mean, as slaves, we were making those great dinners for our masters, and we all grew up knowing how to cook. When I was little, I would watch my mom and dad, and that's when I started cooking. And I always said, I'm cooking with love. I'm not going to measure. I call it, like in my book, of course, follow that recipe. But when I cook from my soul, my heart. I do love drops. I don't measure. And when you do that, it's like you're in the earth cook. I can't explain the way I feel at that stove, but it's like, God, it's like a blessing. It's a blessing because I know when this great food simmers, cooks for 3 or 4 hours or whatever, like I made a brisket last week for like
Mm,
8 hours. And when it finished, it melted in everybody's mouth. And so
mm,
this way of, you don't have to have money. You don't have to have anything. Just buy some groceries. If they're not top shelf groceries, buy groceries, but put your feel in it like this is the last meal you're going to make. And every meal I make, it's like that. I uh I don't get up and if anybody eats my food and don't say it was great, they got to go home. And you can't take a go home box because you didn't feel my love that was in that pot. So it's I can't use that word, but it's like it's love. It's all about love. And if you don't love to cook, stay out the kitchen. If you're not going to put all that love in it, it's like I said, and you don't have to measure everything. Just cook. And I just cook. And
Is
I
that why
get
you think it?
everything else. Huh? What'd
Is
you say,
that why
Mike?
you reference so? Yeah, is that why you reference so much like your family members, like your aunt Hattie Mae, Joshia May? Like, is that coming from that love that they gave to you? Is that that transference of love? Is that why the deference is there to
It
them?
it's there because my father's sister was Hattie Mae and Joshua May, and my mother, her brother and her no, her brother cooked well. I mean, it came from them to me. I mean, there are a lot of families that young girls, or not young girls, my age 77, can't cook because their families couldn't show them. So it was in my genes. It's in my genes. And from both sides, my mom and dad, they were cooking bandits. And so I took it up. And my sisters, before they passed, they didn't cook. My sister Jackie made the best velvet cake and stuff like that, but they couldn't cook like me. I'm a bad girl in that kitchen.
Yeah,
And most people say,
you
well,
think?
you told me how to cook, but it didn't come out like yours. I said, because your soul wasn't right, boo. Something, you got to
Yay.
feel it. You got to feel it.
Yeah,
Make sure those hands are clean and dig in. Yes.
yeah. Now, Patty, I want to know, like, what was that thought process? Because, as we're talking, I really do hope that the audience, well, first of all, I know the audience listening, but meaning there's someone out there who is a great cook, right? And can maybe look at that from not just seeing it as love, which it is, but being able to turn
Mhm.
that into possibly an enterprise, right? I just think that we don't make that pivot enough. And so I'm curious for you, was what was that moment,
Right.
right, where you said, I want to pivot this into like a entrepreneurship endeavor, into a movement? So I want to be clear, you're Patti LaBelle. I mean, yes, brands come to you all the time. You get approached to do other things, but I believe, I don't know you that well, but I believe you understand just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? And so what made you say,
Right.
you know what, this is it. This is the time for me to actually make my love into commerce.
Okay. Well, everything in life has to have a team. My son Zori, Charles, and Alex, they're my team. They've been working on Patty brand for like 15 years, maybe more, going to Africa to talk about coffee and different things. So this has been in the works for them to say Patty LaBelle doesn't have to sing all her life. She can sit down. So and during the pandemic, those things happened because people had to eat. And that's when food was selling. Patty LaBelle's brand was selling. And so I have three great geniuses working with my movement of my food, my beddings, my everything I do. It goes through Apex. It's
Yeah.
Apex. Okay,
Hmm.
it's Patty, Zori, Charles, and Alex, and they're the reason that I'm sitting here today talking about that great pie. They fought like crazy to make sure, first of all, that we had to have quality. We couldn't just say Patty gonna do a pie. Patty has to do a perfect pie. That people will love, that they can afford. So with my team, if it was just me, I don't think I would have ever done this because singing was my life. But then when they all would taste my food, Charles especially, he said, "Oh my God," he said, "I never had food like this." So he's so patty eyes. Whenever we go to restaurants, whatever I order, he orders because he thinks I know the best food
Yeah.
to order. So they are patty soldiers. So to have
Mhm.
soldiers, you can't miss, especially when they're putting out quality stuff to the public. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I'm in it like this now because I had that team just pushing.
What I love about that for me, the takeaway in that statement you just said was that your team pushed you, because if it had been up to you, you probably would have just still been cooking for the love of your gatherings and of your friends. And I think that's so
Yes.
important for the audience out there
Right.
that you're listening, that sometimes it takes a friend if you don't have a team, sometimes it just takes a friend, right, or a loved one to encourage you, to push you. And so to all of you out there who have individuals who are great cooks and can do their thing in the kitchen with love, encourage them to find a pathway in order for go to commerce. Because literally
Really?
listen to what Patti LaBelle just said. You know, if it wasn't for her team, she wouldn't have pushed herself out there to do that. And sometimes that's all it takes for
No.
us. It's just a push,
It
right?
takes help. You know, we can't do it on our own. I could never have done this on my own because I'm singing, I'm recording, I'm doing other things, you know, shows, and how am I going to do that and do this by myself?
Yeah.
So they've been in my corner forever, and they love my product because they believe in me and they know that I'm not going to put out no okey doke stuff. It
Yeah.
has to be right at all.
Not at all. Well, listen,
Hmm.
as we close, I just wanted to say how much I love seeing you with my good friend and a true friend, not just one of these media friends, but a good friend, Dion Cole, in the Old Spice commercial. Seeing you pop up in those spots
Honey,
was hilarious, Patty.
I tell you, when I was asked to do it, and I had seen the Old Spice commercials. So when they called my son Zori and said, we would love for your mother to be his mother-in-law. And so I said, Old Spice, that's what my father used, my uncles used. So it wasn't something foreign to me. I've been knowing Old Spice for 1,000 years. And now they have something for ladies. So it's not just for men. So I took his stuff, whatever. And I'm a mean
It was great.
mother-in-law. Uh,
It,
I loved it. I love it.
I love me some Dion Cole
Thank
and you
you.
together. And in closing, Patty, when are we going to be able to see you on tour? I heard some whispers that there might be a tour coming up.
Oh, sure. After 15 months, you know I have to tour now. I'm crazy. I got to go on that stage with the microphone and with real people in front of me that I
Mm,
won't touch because we have to still be safe. So
yeah,
that starts September 16th. I start touring, and I'm going to stay out as long as I can, as long
I
as I
love it.
can.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you go to Patti LaBelle, all her social media platforms and
But let me
website
tell
to
you the
figure out
book.
what. Yes, that's the book right there.
Okay, that's the cover, and that's the baby kids on the back.
I love it.
And the
I love
recipes
the
are to think about.
I love the baby gift.
Thanks, Mike.
Patti LaBelle,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for bringing genius and your love and your gift of cooking. Thank you to your team for encouraging you to push you over the edge to do it. That's why we enjoy great macaroni and cheese
Yes.
every holiday, and why I love your peach cobbler so
You.
much. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Patti LaBelle,
Uh,
go out today and grab the book, LaBelle Cuisine. You won't be disappointed. She has some updated recipes, some new recipes in there too as well that she cooked during the pandemic. And look at the love that she puts in it, and show some love to your family too during this summer season. You won't regret it, trust me. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Patti LaBelle. Thank you,
and
Patty.
when it's safe, Mike, when it's safe, I'll see you and hug you when
Hey,
it's
I
safe.
cannot wait for that, Patty. I love
Give you
you.
a pie, a peach cobbler. I'll give you that.
Yes, the peach cobbler. Oh my God, the peach cobbler flavor. I
Okay.
would like really die and
Yeah.
fall to my knees. I love you, Patty. Thank you for
Got
everything.
it. I love you too, Mike.
Okay.
Bye. Thank
All
you.
right.